Hello, everybody. This is Juan Carlos Brando. Thank you for joining us today with the attorney Margaret W. Wong with the show Q&A live show today, where you can send your questions, ask your questions, and everybody will be able to text directly to the attorney Margaret W. Wong, who is here with us today in the office of Atlanta. So we are excited as every Thursday that we have her on the YouTube channel and also the Facebook page in English, so that we can ask our immigration questions. Miss Wong, we are excited to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm good, and thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for having us today. We are really, really excited about having you here in the city of Atlanta. And well, we have heard a lot of things going on about the immigration right now. And one of the things that people are interested are, how do I get a work visa in the United States? Because people from Europe, people from South America, people from Middle East and Southeast, I think is Southern East, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, some of them or many of them are professionals and they would like to come here and work legally. But how can we do to get a work visa in the United
Right.
States?
The most easiest way to get a work visa in America is to get a H-1B. H-1B is a professional work visa. So, for example, we represent, for example, an artist who's a professor in China. So you can either do an O1 for them, or do an H-1B, or do an EP-11, or for medical doctors or lawyers or teachers. You can also do an EB3, which is a green card. The issue is it's hard to get a job, even though there's a big resignation in America. So, but once you get, so for example, you can go on Indeed, you can go on Breezy and find a job offer. If the employer is willing to sponsor you, it's an easier case. You can actually just maybe wait at home and come with a green card. But it's very difficult once you come and now you suddenly get a job. And what do I do? Because all those visas takes time. So, so the higher you are, like for example, you're a very famous chef, you're a very famous artist, a famous baseball player, football player. Those are easier because you can do P visa, you can do O visa, you can do H-1B. For Canadians and Mexicans, you can do TN visa, which is a free trade. Also, for a lot of countries like the Koreans, the Taiwan, they have e-visa. So if you invest 150, 120, $200,000 in America, you either became an essential worker or entrepreneur. There's also a new thing called parole under entrepreneur. So, for example, you have a board of directors that's angel investors, but you also got startup capital. Um, as a startup, then you can do a parole visa based on entrepreneur. But that's difficult because if I never came to America, I don't even know how to start a business. I don't know how to find angel investor. And that person could not be just my father loaning me money, my mother, my neighbor, my cousin. It has to be a person or people who have experience in investing. So there are a lot of ways to come, but it takes time, it takes planning, it takes patience, and it takes intelligence.
Okay, that's what Miss Wong says, and if she says it, you have to believe it because she knows a lot. She has been working on this field for over 45 years in this country, helping thousands of families every single year. And if you want to ask to the right person, it should be Miss Wong. So you just can call. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. And we have the first question of today. This is the question comes from Alan. Good afternoon, Ms. Wong and team. My work permit is pending for almost a year and nothing so far. I have a pending VAWA case filled with green card and work permit under C9 section. I have a prima facie or
Hmm.
expiring
Prima
next
facie,
month.
right?
and not even a work permit so far. Do you have anything to say about that?
Absolutely. So you filed the 360 and the 45. If you filed, there are two ways to get that work permit. You either get it under prima facie. Uh, the 360 prima facie means that it's not an approval, but it's nearly, it's is closer to the approval. It's just like a water court dependency action for kids under 21 or under 18, depends on the state. So the C9 should lately is very slow. I don't know if this is the first one you haven't got or it's an extension. If it's an extension, you take the receipt notice, which gives you 180 days, and the automatic extension, which is in the uscis.gov, is an automatic 1 year. Now you take that automatic extension that you print out from USCIS and the receipt notice after you file for the extension, and your passport, and just go to the driver's license bureau, and they should give you an extension of 1 year driver's license if it's an extension. If not, then you need to wait for at least your first work permit. But these are good cases because Wawa is one of those visas, aside from U visa, that forgives perm bar. So, for example, I came to America in 1999. I left in '07. I came back after 2 months in '07. That's a perm bar case. So even if I marry an American citizen, I could not get a green card because it's a perm bar. That means even if you leave and try to come back, you need a 10-year absence in America. That's what we call a 10-year bar. But if it's a Wawa case, then you can apply for the adjustment of status and the work permit. That's what this question is for. 1 year sounds too long. Maybe push the case, but the it should be a good case. I'm not too worried about that. But you already got prima facie, so maybe just call them, email them, and also use the ombudsman's office. If you go on uscis.gov, there is an ombudsman's office. You only go to them if you think you're going to get an approval. Don't go to them on a weak case because their job is to understand what's going on and make recommendations to make jobs faster and stuff. But absolutely, I would go to a congressman, show them your C9 receipt, show them your 360 receipt, and show them your 45 receipt.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. And Alan, you already have the answer, so now you know what to do. Just in case, you have the phone number is 216-279-3984. 216-279-3984. You can talk to Ms. Wong anytime that you need, and just call the office. The phone number 216-279-3984. The next question is, I filed the form 765 for my asylum process in January 2022, and yesterday I received a notification that it was denied because I never filed asylum. um, I don't understand. This is my wife filed for us since 2016. What can we do?
If you had an extension, they normally are not that tough. If it's your first one, you need to check the white. Normally, and they make a lot of mistakes lately on asylum case. I don't know if you're in court yet or you went through the interview. Check. So basically, what you're saying, your wife is a principal, you're the rider. So check. Especially if you had approvals before, why not now? Check the wife's 589. I think on page 3 or page 4, they ask all the names of the children, the name of the spouses. So I'm sure your name is there, but there's a specific question. Say, are your children or your spouse joining you? If that answer is yes, maybe immigration made a mistake. Don't assume immigration is always right. That's what I do. You always assume they're wrong. I would check the 589 for the wife because it seemed like you're the rider on your wife's case, and maybe attach it. There are two things you can do. You can either send the 290B and say immigration error, yellow out immigration error so you don't have to pay again, because another way to do it is pay it, but maybe ask for a refund after you approve it and see if they'll refund it. Because if it's immigration error, you don't have to pay. But sometimes they'll bounce back after 6 weeks and say, oh, it's not our error. Now, you're stuck without 6 weeks. You are the one who's suffering because you don't have that work permit. So instead of maybe fighting with them, maybe file either new work permit or an appeal. Appeal sometimes is fast. A normal case is slower, but on a work permit lately, it's been pretty fast because I've done it and it's good. But you need to double check because maybe you forgot to check yes on the husband. Under Trump, It's just they use a different standard. Maybe it's just bad luck. So check that. I would do
Would it
that.
be convenient for him to file his own asylum case?
Yeah, there's another way, but then you need 151 days, which is slower
Okay, yeah, but he has been waiting for
for you to
6 years
Yeah, but
already.
if he lose, that's good. I mean, at least
Ah,
you buy
yeah,
time. If he win,
yeah,
he should file it. So it depends on what country you're
yeah.
from. If you're from Venezuela, you should file your own and
Okay,
get
that's awesome.
TPS. Yeah,
And you see,
that's a good point. Yeah, yeah, that's a very good
that's why
point.
you need to talk to Miss Wong, because she knows all the ways that you can do it, all the branches, if you can go through this path or not. So before you make any decision, don't forget to talk to the attorney Margaret W. Wong. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. And that's really good, Miss Wong, that we have real answer coming from you. And something that is happening right now in the United States, Ms. Wong, is that a lot of people are filing documents, immigration documents for people, and then something happens. The document gets lost. They never receive it.
Mhm.
Uh, they never get an answer. And then they go back to the paralegal and they say, well, my job was only filing the
Mhm.
application. And then what?
Right.
So, is there anything that an attorney can do if they file a petition and then is not answered?
Normally, what we do is we go to a congressman, we keep calling them, and sometimes we do know people who work there. It depends on what case. But my advice is always whoever helped you file the 589, the asylum papers, at the bottom of the last page, they always say, uh, who helped you file the petition. If our law firm helped, my name would be there, and that we are representing you to help you file it. But a lot of times the paralegals, because they don't have a license, they're just helping you. They're supposed to put in there that they are helping you translate. They help you because the question is that you have help preparing the form, and they want us to sign it. So I would always check that bottom to make sure whoever helped you, because then you have someone accountable. On the other hand, as a friend, they'll be hard, but always check that square. And I do it just to make sure. And if you have a lawyer help you, some lawyers, and it happens in our law firm too, we forgot to file E20, G28, E28. Always make sure that's attached, because then whatever they send you, they also send us a copy. You can also check with the bar association. That's the association that I'm very worried with, because that's the association that controls our license. So if they don't like me, they can get rid of my license. My whole life depends on that license to pay my mortgage, to pay my people, to pay my car. So these are things that as a layman in America you can do. America is very protective of consumers. That's why the Uber is not doing well. The Lyft, Amazon, they always no question asked, everything returned, because they're very protective of the lemon law. So if you buy a car that doesn't work, that's what we call the lemon law. So there's a lot of protection for that. But I think for now, make sure you file correctly. Make sure there's a receipt notice, and make sure there's a letter saying that you have to take fingerprint or no fingerprint. Don't just assume you don't get a letter. You don't have to take fingerprint. And then ASAP is a for free organization that you join, because they do a lot of politics in Washington to push the Congress and Senate and the White House to make changes in immigration law. I like to join them with my clients. It's free, but that gives them more power to represent people like us. Because if each law firm were, that the thousands of law firms in America, that thousands and millions of people who have no papers, but we need to group together and fight the system. Alone you can't do it. So that's, I think, one thing nice about America versus Asian countries and European countries, because we have so much history and thousands and thousands of years of history, that we have a lot of factions, fighting with each other. The Northerners don't like the Southerners. One thing nice about America, America only have like 250 years of history, with the Civil War, with the North and the South, and the slaveholders, and so we don't have such big a history. So we are on the path of change, and I do recommend all of us, foreign paper, no paper, citizen, green card holders, to push for change. Any change is better than no change. And we don't need this January 6th. I mean, no, this is crap. That's why we all come to America,
Yeah.
for this voting, to be free. Look at what Sri Lanka did. The president just went away. How can you do that? You will never see an American president run away. I mean, that's unheard of. So I do
Okay.
welcome everybody, all of us, to join together to fight. Not just to fight, is to improve our lives. There's no reason you pay them and you don't get a work permit for a year. What is this? I mean, you pay them. You go to a license place, you get a driver's license. You go
Yeah.
to, I mean, every 2 years I extend my bar license and I pay them and they give it to me unless there's a lot of complaints, right? So, like a doctor, they need a license. The doctor pay the fee, $60, $80, and then they get it. So why not a work permit? And we pay them like $410, a lot of money, for not getting it for a year. And I think that's totally wrong.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Although they found a temporary solution to extend the
Hmm.
driver's licenses, to tell people that don't fire them because they are waiting for the work permit. But it's not comfortable that
That's right.
you are waiting for something for over a year.
That's right.
And I would say that um, I um, I have been waiting for my work permit for since July last year.
Hmm.
So I filed it July 1st last year, and I haven't received it.
You?
Yeah, myself.
Well, you should tell me. I'll
Oh,
push it.
uh,
I'm your
yeah,
friend.
it
I'm your
is.
mentor. I'm your
Yeah,
hope.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you gave me a solution, and I
Right.
have my
Right.
driver's license,
That's right.
which is
Yeah, but
the most
still,
important
we
thing
should.
I
That's
need
not
right
right,
now.
right?
Yeah, it's not right. It's
That's
not
right.
right.
Especially when it happens to your friend, you're like, "What is this?" Sometimes, yeah,
I
I'm
just didn't
sorry.
want
Yeah.
to bother you with that because I could find a solution guided by you, by the
Oh,
way.
so
And thank you so
nice.
much for all you did as well. Okay, so if you have any other question, please just send it. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984.
That's one
Um,
thing I like about this program. We are all part of the narrative and the story. We know
yes,
what's like. We went
that's
through
awesome.
this. It took me like, I don't know, 12 years, 15 years to become a citizen. We all went through this.
Yes, I've been
So
here for 7 years and a couple months, and I'm good. I'm good.
that's
I'm
right. We are
doing really good.
happy. Yeah,
I'm really happy. I found my wife. I found my family here,
that's
so
right.
I'm really happy. Okay, so this person is asking: is there a work or investment visa for a Venezuelan European person? I live in Portugal. My family owns businesses here and in Venezuela, but I would like to move to the United States, start a business. Either with what we do, we build bakeries, but also I am an electronic engineer.
Now, let me explain to those of you who didn't know this, and I didn't know it until a few, maybe 10, 20 years ago. I represent, how chocolate lines, right? You buy chocolate Mars, you buy cookies. There are lines that these engineering people make that it's like a robot. Like people will stand by the line and grab the cookies and wrap the cookies. That's what they make a lot of money because I represent quite a few engineers who build these lines and they all come from Europe and because it's their job. So I presume this person is like that. So there are few ways to do it. You can either do an L1A, L1B, or you can do an E visa because if you build a business in America, then you become the entrepreneur and you can bring other essential worker to America. So you can do an L, you can do an E. But to get a green card, once your business start making money, you can do an EB1C based on an L1A. So these are very, very good cases. I presume the fact that he's an electronic engineer, he already have at least a master's, is not a bachelor person. If he works in a business that's doing so well, he can also maybe do an O visa. So these are very, very good cases. But a lot of people like them, they don't have the patience to come and then land and then take crap from the airport people and then deny entry. They just want to come and build a business and go back. Because the richer, my experience is the richer we are, the more they don't want to because it's worldwide tax. So even if you come to work in America for 5 days, for 10 days, and to build a manufacturing company, whatever money you make in Europe, because it seemed like this person lives in Portugal and works in Portugal, but is also from Venezuela. Because I don't know if you know the history of Venezuela. Venezuela had used to have a lot of like expats, and it's just a beautiful place. All the people, whenever they don't like the old Russian, like years and years ago, they would go to Paris, they go to Venezuela, they go to Portugal, watch some of
Yeah.
these movies, a lot of spies. I mean, it's just same as Shanghai, just like Hong Kong in the 50s and 60s. And that's how, actually, my parents are one of those people. So, and I'm old. So, so this person have a lot of hope, and he doesn't want to come without a document because this guy seemed like his family. So he's probably one of the third generation who's running a business, but the money is controlled by the elders. E-visa is not a bad idea, but he'll need to get permission from his board of directors to invest. L1A is not a bad idea, but it's only good for 1 year. And then you need to hire at least 4 or 5 people to do a 2 year extension. And then you get the green card. And most people, they're not that patient. And also worldwide income, there's a problem. Even for L1A, the first year income tax return, you should report at least 80, 90,000 or 75. 60s are sort of low. There's a lot of money when you don't own any houses here, when you don't have things to deduct. So you pay about $20,000, $30,000 in income tax, including if you make money overseas, you have to report that in worldwide income. That's why a lot of L people, H people, they don't even want to step. They come in to visit the business on a tourist visa, they then leave, and that's all legal because of the worldwide. So America is a very backward company when it comes to entrepreneurship and businesses because of that income taxes are very, because even though Canada is higher, Europe is higher, but I don't think they charge worldwide. So even if I just go to America for 5 days a year, whatever I make in Europe is probably 200, 300,000 a year. I have to pay American tax on that. And that's, for them, is a lot of money.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Wong. And this is a very interesting question. This person says, I am from India, but I have European nationality. I've tried my ESTA visa 3 times, but it has been denied. What are my chances to get a tourist visa and go to the United States?
Okay. That's a good question. I think he may have a British passport. I don't know why the ESTA is denied. Normally, if you apply for ESTA, it should not. ESTA is a 90-day visa. In the olden days, you don't need to do anything. Just because you're from Sweden, from Korea, you come. But now they make you pay like $12 for every 2 years just to get your electronics, your biometrics, your fingerprint. I don't know why his ESTA is denied. But then his question is, if the form is denied, could I apply for the tourist visa, which is a DS 160? Right now, it's hard to apply for DS 160 because all the tourist visa, Mexico, India, China, they're closing. I think the earliest appointment in Mexico is for next year for tourist visa. So to answer that question, do you think my tourist visa will be denied? I don't know because you couldn't, even if you put in your appointment, it won't wait next year. But more than that, the question is why ESTA denied? Another thing is new law now is coming in on investment visa. So normally people from India who hold European passport, probably is England, they're not poor people. So you can probably do an e-visa. But so I don't know why he didn't apply for e-visa. Also, new law is coming in saying that if you come on any visa, student visa, tourist visa, you could do adjustment of status if you invest $800,000 on the EB5 program, and that's a direct investing. So these are all other ways to, instead of focusing on tourism as the thing outside the box, how could I come to America and what do I need to get a work permit and stay in America and become a citizen of the United States?
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Wong. We have a bunch of more questions, but we have a lot of people waiting for you right now. So I'm gonna let you go. And please, if you need to talk to the attorney Margaret W. Wong, don't forget that she has over 45 years of experience, and her birthday is coming soon. So this is a celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to celebrate that Miss Wong is uh, going to be in her birthday in just a couple weeks or just 10 days, maybe. So thank you, Miss Wong, for all you do, for not giving up. I heard that you went to court a few days ago and
And I
you
won.
did
Whew,
awesome.
I'll be
Yeah.
so ashamed if I lost. Yeah.
Yeah, but you It's like riding a bicycle.
That's
You
right.
will never forget that. You never forget that. And maybe you get nervous because you are going back to a place that you stopped going some time ago. But once people, and maybe you enter shaking or trembling, but you know what? You are trembling, but the judge is trembling more than you because he knows who you are. And that's true.
We're
So,
old friends. Yes.
yeah, so Muhammad Ali, he was about to give up in one fight. And his trainer told him, "You please go up and go to the center of the ring and give me one more round." He stood up. Joe Fraser stood up as well. They did two more rounds. And the last one, um, Muhammad Ali, he said, "I'm not going no more." And his trainer said, "You have to go. Please do me a favor. Just stand up." And he stood up. And then that's all he did. Joe Fraser couldn't stand up. And that's how he won the
What a
fight.
beautiful
So
story.
this is something that we need to learn. Nobody is able to tell us that we are not able to do something until we try.
For
And you just
those of
try.
you who listen to us, Mr. Juan Carlos loves sports. He loves sports. He loves Tiger. If you're listening to us, Mr. Tiger, in Atlanta, he loves. He brings his son to all. Just yesterday, they went to a soccer game. He would always tell me, and I say, "Who won?" He said, "Sometimes it doesn't matter who won. There's a process of that." When I say, "Okay, whatever." He loves sports. So if you want to get his interest, talk about sports.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And well, I'll see you next week, Ms. Wong, on Wednesday on the Spanish channel and on Thursday on this English channel on Facebook and YouTube. Please follow us, subscribe to our channel. And if you need more information, just call 216-279-3984. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's fun. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you.
Thank you.